The Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast is dedicated to all things Horus Heresy. This podcast delves into the grimdark universe where Primarchs clash, legions rise, and loyalties fracture faster than a Land Raider's track. But it's not just about the lore of the Horus Heresy. The Accountabilibuddies also explore the gaming side of things, from painting and modeling tips to product reviews and ideas to help you in your hobby. So, whether you're a seasoned Forge World veteran or a fresh-faced scout, this podcast is your Vox channel to the galaxy. Expect discussions on lore, modeling, gaming, and maybe even the shenanigans that your hosts somehow seem to find their way into. Remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there are only two things you can count on: Heresy and your trusty Accountabilibuddies.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Heresy Accountabilibuddies Podcast, episode 135?
Six.
Just kidding. My name is Brian, and I've been joined by...
Duncan.
Jack.
And John.
We don't know our own names, folks. We're not sorry.
Oh, my God.
And tonight, on this episode of the Heresy Accountability Podcast, we're going to have inappropriate pauses, we're going to have silence, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff about heresy.
Right.
But before we get to the heresy talk, we're going to go ahead and throw it off to a shout-out to our sponsors, and a shout-out to
Do you
our,
love resin bases? Then go to our sponsor, Elric Hobbies, for all of your basing and basing accessory needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a discount. Legendary Monument Hobbies. Monument Hobbies is a one-stop shop for all of your painting needs. Use code HERESYABB at checkout for a 5% discount on your purchase. Pop Goes the Monkey. Find maker of third-party accessory bits of arms, legs, backpacks, and more, where you can get 10% off your first order over $125 with code HERESYABB at checkout.
To our sponsors, and a shout out to our patron members. Thank you all for everything you do to help us bring you all kinds of nonsense every single whenever we make a recording, which is mostly weekly. But for today, let's go ahead and start off tonight with our hobby progress. John, what hobby progress have you done this past week?
I didn't get a lot done. When we were doing our Wednesday hangout, I managed to seal the 8 tubs of Space Marines that I've been painting for the last few months. I honestly don't know how many Marines there are. I just keep picking them up and sealing them. But I got them all sealed, and then I got 2.5 tubs decaled. So it's a lot of Marines. I did last tub was something like 15 autocannon guys, 10 plasma guys, 10 last cannon guys. There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of Marines that I'm decaling, and I had to drive out to GW today to go buy some more decals because of the color. I didn't like the color that came on the Ultimate Marines decal sheet, so I had to go buy more of the generic Heresy Infantry decal sheet. So I had to go pick up another one of those today. But that's pretty much what I've been working on. Just getting stuff ready for when I eventually start making more lists and working more in 3.0 and getting all that together. What about
Who's next, John?
Duncan?
Oh, that throw me on the spot. Way to go, buddy. So this past week, I have been working more on the Night Raptor squad. I've got all their whites done. I've got the bone colors done on all of them. I've got all the red on them done. I'm down to final metals, tidbits and touch-ups in places, and the perturges that some of them have on their waist. So once I get those done, and the final metals and bits and bobs, then I'll start working on their jump packs. And then it will be time for seal and to start doing all of the glorious decals before moving on to weathering. I would hopefully normally get some of that done this week. but I've got packing to do for a trip where I'm going down to Atlanta this Friday, or I'm going down there Thursday night. I'll be down there through Sunday of next week. So I'm taking hobby stuff with me to do while I'm down there, but I won't be able to paint because I'll be in a hotel room.
Y'all got to go to the varsity, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. I'll figure something out while I'm down there. Sure. Beyond that, I haven't done a lot of hobby stuff. I went to some of my friendly locals to try to, including the Warhammer store, to try to get a new Predator model. Couldn't find a Predator model at any of them, so I guess I'm not going to have a Predator, and I'll just build other stuff that I need to build. It's not like it's a big deal. I got this. That's about all I've done. So, Jack, what have you done hobby-wise this past week?
Well, I printed myself off a Predator and then immediately threw it away because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Got an itch right here on my forehead for you, Jack. My shiny forehead.
Duncan, we can't throw gang signs out on this podcast. What are you doing?
That is not a gang sign. That is not a gang sign at all. But it is exactly what Jack deserves.
I put some old weathering on a Typhon, a Cerberus, a Spartan Mark IIB, and then 2 Vindicator Las Destroyers. Then I went back and cleaned those up a little bit and been too busy with life to do anything else. So what about you, Jamie? What have you done?
Still working on the Titan.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's
Forever,
kind of been
forever and always.
It's the summer project, and yeah, it's I got a lot done this week. I've got the armor all layered out and it's all sealed. I just got to do the trim. Basically, I have to do all the trim work on the armor. The upper torso, I started working on the layers. All the loading mechanism for the Quake cannon in the back, I've been painting this weekend as well. Started doing a little bit of weathering on the upper half, but and I also built and started magnetizing the arm guns. So I mean, I've been pretty busy. It's a lot of work to do. I mean, imagine painting a squad, but then like a squad of men, but like 12, about 10 to 15 times the size, like the parts I'm having to paint. I had a little bit of paint issues last night where I had like a layer I put down on some of the armor. Like I put another layer or 2 over the top of it, reactivate underneath those newer layers and shift. So it screwed up, and I basically had to take those armor all the way back down to plastic, reprime, and then repaint. It's kind of a weird experience I've never had before, and I have no clue why it happened. Because I'm using all the same paint and brand and same thinners and on them, so it was just kind of weird. But I've got it fixed, so. And I'll just keep plucking away on it. The trim's going to take a bit this week to get done, but then I can start like actually putting those parts on the actual Titan, and it'll look like a Titan finally. So
you're saying it's a trim job?
Yeah, it's a trim job.
But bumped.
Brian, I guess hadn't gone yet. Yeah.
Yeah, last but not least, I actually did something this past week or so. Been working on getting all my vehicles painted up to the weathering stage. I had my Kratoses at that point already, but I had added a bunch of Sicarans, I think 3 of those, 2 of the plastic Land Raider carriers, and now another Spartan, which my wife's awesome. And 2:00 in the morning the other day, I said, "Hey, you want to build this Spartan with me?" And she goes, "Yeah." So we just stayed up till 3 in the morning working on it one night, and then 1:00 in the morning the next. And that's almost completely built. I primed the side hull sections, which I leave all that detached because I find it far easier to do the sepia step for my Death Guard with the hull section separate from the sides, because there's a lot of crevices and little nooks that are kind of difficult to get into with a paintbrush, especially when you have broken fingers and hands like I do. So that's been pretty good, making decent progress. I also got my new Cataphracti Terminator squad primed, minus only the sergeant has a melee weapon arm and nobody has gun arms yet, because I'm still not sure how I want to kit them out for this new edition. They were going to be my nullificator squad in last edition, but we'll see if that unit exists in the near future. But they look cool. One of these days I'll get some progress pictures of those posted up so people can bask in the glory of Death Guard. And that's all I've been up to. What do we got in the news, John?
News-wise, we had a few more things roll out that already were previewed last time. So the rest of the box set got broken up. The tokens came out for $25. That's a little pricey in my opinion. The Arachne is $65. If you go on eBay right now, you can get it for a hell of a lot cheaper than that, since no one seems to know how to use the thing.
Probably about half.
Third, if that.
Yeah.
I've seen them for 20 and lower. Disintegrator weapons are 30, and the Dreadnought weapons are 30 apiece. The downside of these is you only get one of the main guns, so if you want to outfit your Dreadnought with both guns, you need to order one of these Chirons and 2 Ophions. The re-release of the drop pod at 58, the Centurion and Praetor separately, as well as the Saturnine separately, and the Dreadnoughts separately. So it's nice to see them kind of breaking up the rest of the box pretty quickly as far as that's concerned. This week for previews, we really only got a bunch of 40K stuff coming, so we got a bunch of Votan stuff.
That dude's cool.
Yeah, this strategist is probably somebody I would steal for an NPC if he's not super expensive later. And the same with the Maul Mortars.
Yep.
They got their robots. This little go buggy thing is kind of cool. Some neat dice. And then some of the Space Marines are starting to come out that we saw previewed a few weeks ago. So we got Volcanistan, a really cool set of dice for those that are doing the Trial by Fire salamanders that were coming out a while ago. I know Jake was doing those a long time ago. It'd be cool for him to get some dice. And then a World Leader character and a Death Guard character that were available inside of boxes.
And Centos.
And Centos. So GW is opening their 200th store, so most stores are doing some type of celebration. If you go out there, you can get a dice tray, you can get a pin, you can get Centos and some other stuff going on at stores. A bunch of the old world metal Bretonians are coming back for made to order. Remember, it's between 1 to 6 months when you'll officially get the models when you order them. And then some more books that we've had released before, but they're getting new editions or audio books are coming out. And a Necron Scarab plushie.
It's so cute.
GW also announced, yeah, rip atoms off of people. GW also announced a bunch of tickets are going for sale for a bunch of their events. So they're going to be at Gen Con, which was today.
This weekend, yeah.
Announcing this the day the tickets went for sale. Nova is next month, or this month, later this month. And then Warhammer World is going to have a Horus Heresy event called the Siege of Stromhelm on the 22nd and 23rd of November. You can get tickets there. If you're looking for official GW events, they're starting to start them up again. The other official GW, but not so official things, Wicked Brick has finally embraced the Heresy in a large way.
Oh my!
Their large Horus Heresy display cabinet, Project Dimensions, external, 1,000 millimeters.
Good lord!
What is that
That's
in
a
freedom units?
Yeah, in freedom units, it's 3 feet. It's the size of a dresser top.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's basically a whole Saturnine box display
Nice.
for $150.
Eh.
It's not.
I mean,
if you're looking for custom display cabinets, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent acrylic. It's got decent hardware on it. It's got the back mat. I mean,
Yeah, a reversible back mat. So you've got one that's more white, one that's more black. Your figures will show up a little better. And they've also got these little plaques for every legion.
Ooh, I might order a plaque.
Those are kind of cool. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's
I might have to get
16
some of those
bucks.
plaques too.
Yeah, I'll admit that I haven't ordered it yet, but it's going to be on the list.
Might have
For
to
16
order.
bucks, you get a little plaque of your legion. They have all the legions available, nothing other than Marines right now. Put the best one up there.
I love you, John.
How close are we to 100?
We're not.
16 is not bad.
No, for
That
that,
doesn't look like Death Guard to me.
So is that like acrylic? That the plate actually acrylic on
Yeah.
the and that's printed on the
Yeah,
back?
it's 4 pieces of acrylic that's going to snap together and screw together. And
Okay.
you've got little magnets here that will mount it into either their display bases or onto your metal shelves.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
yeah, that's 16 bucks
Yeah.
right there, well spent, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a couple of those.
Yeah.
Other official GW stuff that dropped this week. To hold your Misericord umbrella, you can get the Cadian backpack for $150 as well.
How much was that back in the day?
It came with the case for
Yeah,
The-
this is
Apocalypse 1.0.
similar to that. It's not exactly the same as the one that came with the Apocalypse game. It's really similar though. That one had flaps on the side here, and these were full length pockets. It didn't have this
I still have it.
pass through though. Yeah, I do too. Their other bag to me was more impressive. The Krieg bag that actually had some other stuff on it. It had a little metal plate with your own individualized serial number for the Krieg bag.
I don't
This
remember
one-
that one.
Yeah, the Krieg one was pretty cool. And that's like a roll down. That's a roll down bag, not the Krieg
Yeah.
one. I don't think the Krieg one was.
So there are other bags that they've had before.
Yeah, the bags are neat, but
They're pricey. I'll give them that.
they're pricey.
like-
Go
feel
back
like
to
a
the
good-
acrylic nameplates again. Those were awesome. I think we all want those.
So this was the Krieg bag. It's zippers instead of fasteners.
Yeah.
It's $130. And then
Now, if they
was it
put one
doing-
out, if they put one of those out that looks like a Space Marine power plant backpack, I think that'd be pretty awesome.
there was a fan art of what that could look like a long time ago, and a lot of people said that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I would totally buy one, and GW never went anywhere with it.
Ah,
No, the key is to make one that looks like the power pack, but also just put batteries in it so it is a power pack.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
In other news, it's kind of cool. There's another Kickstarter up for some really cool trench works. These ones are more Gothic styled instead of everyone being real trench crusade looking. This one reminds me a lot of the old Elysian trenches that came out from GW a long time ago.
Yeah.
I need a PLA printer so bad.
This is from No Man's Land Gothic.
You're getting a Chi-2 Saturn, or not Saturn, the
So
call it?
for how much is that for the entire set of everything?
29 US.
oh, that's not
Man,
bad.
that's not bad at all.
And it comes with a little grid system so you can plan out everything. It's got internal and external corners. Those are usually what people skimp on, is not making enough of those.
Right.
Yeah.
1 to 3 angles. They've really gone all out on designing this. Narrow hallways, wide hallways,
Corners.
buckboards, filler pieces, straight slopes, angled slopes. You can build different risers. And then they're still unlocking more and more stuff, like ammo crates, roads that can go outside, and then more and more stuff as we come along.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Mantic has announced that ODSTs are coming to the Halo game. They're a little big for anything that we do, but I know a lot of us love ODSTs.
It'd be cool just to have the models.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll agree there.
I would probably do up the guys from the game, just that little squad of 5. And then Mordian previewed a bunch of new tanks, so they're a little Stug look-alike.
Based armor.
And they
What-
added a power plant or shield projector onto their little new goofy walker thing.
Dude, those walkers are sweet looking.
That's really all the news we've got right now. There's nothing really Heresy coming out. It's not like we're anxiously awaiting any PDF drops or anything.
And we didn't get a PDF this week, so.
Oh, we sure did not. Think we should talk about that?
The PDF isn't real. It can't hurt you.
I'm expressing my feelings on the screen. I know you're here, Games Workshop, you big fucking nerds. Where's my goddamn Legacies PDF?
So, I am less mad that it didn't come out in the timeline that they told us this would, and more that it was buried in another article saying it wasn't coming out because it needed more time to cook. Like that.
Yep.
That's like my
Yes.
biggest issue is, look, if it's not going to come out, don't wait until the 13th hour to do it. Go, hey, we need to work. There's still stuff that we need to work on to make sure it comes out right. So it's not going to come out in July like we said it was going to. But when it comes out, it's going to be right. Just go out and say that. Like, I think everybody, I would have been fine with it. Would I have been disappointed? Yes. But I wouldn't be irritated that it didn't. If that makes
Hey,
sense.
Jack.
Yeah.
And it was literally like a footnote, too.
It's like
If-
that employee you have that always comes in late to work and they always just have some like random crazy excuse or reasoning. And it's like, dude, just be honest with me. Just tell me. The hell.
Well,
I wouldn't even mind if they put out a crappy PDF and said, hey, we're looking for feedback.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the old Legacies PDF, that's kind of what they did. They tweaked it after about 6 months with Fulmintaris.
What was that, John? Fulmintaris what?
I never appealed them.
I just like hearing people complain about the Fulmintaris nerf that they widely deserved.
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm saying they got hit too hard with it.
I've
Not
only
hard
played
enough.
against them once. And it was
Isn't it-
Jack that used them against me.
Didn't they also nerf the Iron Warrior ones, too?
No, they said exactly as they were, as
Okay.
they deserved.
horrible.
I mean, fair if you're going to say that.
The Iron Warriors in general.
I am
Yes.
Zen. This does not hurt me.
Yeah,
I
but
am Zen. This does not hurt me.
but saying on
Well-
on topic, we'll get it at some point. Does it suck that we didn't get it now? Absolutely. With this extra time, do I hope that they make it right the first time? 100%. Is my expectation that it's going to be 1,000% right as soon as we get it? Nothing's going to be 1,000% right as soon as we get it.
Nope.
We'll get it. It'll be okay. I feel like that's like the theme of this whole entire new edition is it'll be okay.
At least that's the theme of the kickoff. I'll agree there. There's been so
Keep-
much
keep going.
confusion.
So, but does anybody else have anything to say about it other than we'll get it when we get it and it will be okay, and we'll be able to see our jet bikes and our Armistoses and our Fulmintaris and our Sun Killers and our whatever the fuck, Adios Dios or whatever the
Nemesis.
Imperial Fist thing is.
The Mrs. Squads and everything else.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that's missing. We'll end up getting them one way or another.
Veteran special weapons, special weapons squads.
Breachers.
Veteran
Breacher.
breachers,
Veteran breachers.
close
Veteran
combat
really-
breachers.
Destroyers.
I'm really curious as to what the Tartaros and Cataphracti Siege Terminator squads are going to look like. That could be fun.
Indominus Terminators.
The siege terminators for the Iron Warriors are already there. They're strength 8 AP3 one shot. That's their big gun.
Yeah, look, those are Iron Warriors. We don't like those.
We don't. Yeah.
Look, just because
Alright.
most of you all play loyalists doesn't mean that you don't need to respect the Iron Warriors. I mean, Lord knows no one else does. Their
I'm
own
gonna help
father
you out
doesn't
here,
respect them.
Don-
I was gonna say even their
I'm gonna help-
Primarch.
That's
I'm gonna
fair.
help you out here, Duncan. The
Yeah,
best
please.
insult we can throw back at John for his besmirching of the Fourth Legion is, yeah, you needed generic decals for your generic Ultramarines, okay? Because there's nothing special there.
No, we're not going to get into besmirching any legions here because all legions are. I can't
course,
say
the
equal
Ultramarines.
because they're not equal. I mean, Ultramarines, they fight with PowerPoint. So anyway,
Logistics wins wars.
just not in the heresy.
Literally what the I think it's funny that that's what the White Scars books were about.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That is a very good point. So moving on, away from that, which is at least partly my fault. Jack, what's our topic for tonight?
According to the Facebook chat, we are covering Dark Angels and Death Guard rules tonight. Since the legacy didn't drop, we plunge forward. See, your Jamie said the DAs are kind of long. I'm making a word docket summary. You gave a thumbs up. Brian said Death Guard is pretty short.
I'll give a thumbs up here so people can see it.
They are.
So, given the changes with everything that's gone on from edition to edition, there's a lot of stuff that people need to take in. And some people haven't read the rules. Maybe you don't have the Loyalist lever like myself. You don't know anything about the Loyalist because you're a Trader player. Maybe you're vice versa. Who knows? Maybe you don't know anything about the Dark Angels, but you may end up facing them across a tabletop. So here's Jamie, our very own Dark Angel player, to tell us all about them.
Jamie,
Well, there's
Jamie?
one thing I wanted to say. Aren't we asking patrons if they want to submit their stuff for these lists
Yes.
too?
Yes. But we will get those feedback as well. But for right now, Jamie, take it away, buddy.
All right. So, Dark Angels, First Legion. I'm not going to go over the history and all that kind of stuff because it will take forever. I will say that the Dark Angels seem to have been bestowed a lot more than the other legions got in both fluff and in the third edition. So anyways, starting off at the front, I'm gonna go with the special weapons and all that. So nothing. They basically, from second to third edition, if you have second edition Dark Angel stuff, it's all the same stuff. It's just the rules have been changed for third edition. So you still have Calibanite, your special war gear, because Dark Angels are knights. Generally, they're big into swords. And so they have the Calibanite Warblade and the Tyrannic Greatsword. So Calibanite Warblade, the big deal is sergeants can take it. And command and champion, and then the Tyrannic Greatsword, only the command and champions can take it, unless it's like a special gear already on a unit, which there are some cases for that. Calibanite Warblade, it's a 5-point upgrade for a sergeant, champion, or command. What it does is
points after you've already purchased a power sword, right?
Correct. Yes, 5 points once you purchase the power sword. So it's at initiative, it's at normal attacks. It gives you +1 strength. It gives you 3 armor pen and 1 damage. It also gives you breaching 5+, which basically, if you don't know, wound may ignore armor and ignore armor saves. Now on a 5+. It's also got Sword of the Order, that's kind of it's a Dark Angel special rule. That gives you in a gambit on the third step, you lose an attack with the sword, but you get critical hit plus on a 6+. And if you already have a critical hit 6+, it improves that by 1. So like if you had a 6+ or a 5+, it will go down to a 4+ or whatever. So it's a decent. It's not great. I don't like the losing an attack, but the critical hit is pretty cool. The Tyrannic Greatsword is kind of long. It's just like it's a big ass sword. People last edition used them for killing dreads and contemptors and that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's that good anymore. So it goes on a command and a champion. -1 initiative. Normal attacks. It gives +2 to strength. 3 armor pen and 2 damage. It also has breaching 5. And Sword of the Order again. The other equipment that they have is the plasma burner, which typically you're only going to see on, and the plasma incinerators, which typically you're only going to see those on Irredemptor squads, which I'll go over in a little bit, but they're basically like flame or plasma is the best way to describe it. It's a template, 2 modes of fire, sustained fire. On the sustained fire version, for the plasma burner, it's firepower +1, range strength 5, AP 4, damage 4, template breaching on a 6+.
Damage 4.
Damage 4. Isn't
I
it?
thought it was damage 1.
I'm sorry, you're right. Carried over from a different line. It's damage 1. Sorry.
Okay, thank God. I was like,
We can
holy
take-
crap.
March later.
Yeah, my bad. It's also got it's plasma, and then the maximal fire version of it is range strength goes up to a 6 from a 5. It's got breaching 5+, and also it adds overload, which is if you roll a 1, you're taking a wound like plasma. Plasma incinerator is like the bigger version of it. It's a bigger flamer. You have the same 2 modes. It's basically the same stats, except it adds an extra damage. So it goes to D2 on the sustained fire mode, and then on the maximal fire, it goes to it's the same thing: breach 5+, and overload 1. All right, so because of the Dark Angels and they get all their crap, I've got to explain this up front. It's a special set of rules that only really the Dark Angels have. You're only going to see it typically in play with the inner circle knights and I think the lion, if I remember correctly, and it's the paladin of the Hekastroikaya or something. I can't even pronounce it. There's a so you also, this is for a Centurion or a Centurion with jump pack. If it fills a prime force org slot, you can select this paladin of the Hekastroikaya, which gives a base weapon skill. Base weapon skill goes up by +1. But you have to exchange your bolter for a Tyrannic Greatsword and for free. And then it gains one of the orders of the Hekastroikaya special rule, which is the stuff that the lion and the inner circle would have. So briefly, I'll go over these different rules. You have to pick one of these when you're selecting your army. So Augurs of Weakness, it gives you armor bane against vehicles. Icons of Resolve, a successfully charged unit. The unit that has this rule gets leadership 10 for the duration of the assault phase. Slayers of the King. So enemies weapon skill 6 or higher, the friendly model drops its attack to 1. Tyrannic Greatswords gain critical hit 6+ till the end of that combat. Hunters of Beast, enemy toughness 6 or higher, damage buffed on user unit by +1. Reapers of Host, if outnumbered by 1 or more enemy units locked in combat, all models in the friendly unit gain +1 attack. And Breaker of Witches, if unit is locked in combat with a Maleficent or a Psyker subtype, friendly unit has +1 wound and +1 to hit during combat. So, those are nice little buffs and bonuses, but you're only going to really see them on very, very high-end, like, command type units normally, or inner circle Terminators.
And you have to pick one, right? You don't get all of them.
Yeah, you don't get all. Used to be you could pick and choose like which of them you want on different units throughout the whole army. That's only on like the higher end. It'll tell you on each of the units that can take it. So it's like Lion, a Centurion, or in the Prime Force Org or the Inner Circle. You can only pick one for that whole unit. You can't mix and match different across the unit.
Okay.
So they're not as
universal.
They're not as universal, yeah. You're just not going to see them a whole lot like you did before. So, for Rites of War, Dark Angels have the Angels of Death. Negative. This is kind of a big deal, especially if you end up playing Night Lords players like Duncan is making a Night Lords army. And the Night Lords army is big on causing negative status effects to your enemy. So Dark Angels, hence they don't really like the Night Lords. They had a nice discussion with them and it went on for a really long time and a lot of people had hurt feelings. Dark Angels are not totally immune to negative status effects, but they're not as powerful to the Dark Angels. So negative modifiers to Dark Angels: leadership, willpower, cool, intelligence are all limited. Models with this rule cannot drop the leadership below a 6. Fear X special rule may only reduce the leadership, willpower, cool, or intelligence by a maximum of 1, regardless of the value of X. So you still will have to take checks, but it's not like old Fearless, but you're not getting like debuffed totally to Oblivion where you're going to end up, you have a better chance of not getting, like stunned.
Okay,
or
so you're a little bit less impacted by them, but You're still impacted, but not as bad
you're
as
still impacted, but you're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too terrible.
No. The Gambit, so it's called the Sword of the Order, which it's on basically all the different swords, and I think it's also on like chain swords and a couple other swords that are in the armory. In challenge step 3, attacks are -1, and they gain crit hit 6+, or improved by +1, which I already went over. The advanced reaction for the Dark Angels is called Vengeance of the First Legion. The controlling player can select who can choose to repeat. The controlling player can choose to repeat the fight subphase. So, like you've already had an assault and you've fought that out, and before you go to the pile-in move at the end of that stage, the Dark Angel player can say, "No, we're going to keep fighting," basically, for 1 point. 1 reaction point. So you basically just redo the combat again. And models that are used, models from the controlling unit that use this reaction also gain Shred 6+ on any of the Sword of the Order weapons.
Okay.
So I glanced over, and I've been reading some of the other legions, and so all the legions this edition get a, I guess you would call it, isn't an auxiliary a special auxiliary detachment. Okay.
Yeah.
And most of the legions in 3.0 only get 1. There are some other legions, Iron Hands, Emperor's Children have 1, and a Traitor specialized 1. Iron Warrior have 2. Night Lords have 2, and World Eaters have 1, and a Traitor Specialist 1. So those are the only ones that have more than 1 special auxiliary detachment. The Dark Angels got 6. They basically got 1 to replicate each one of the former Rites of War that were the wings, the different wing orders of the Dark Angels. So, the Iron Wing Gauntlet is an auxiliary detachment. No restrictions on what can be. No restriction on like the composition inside the slots. No prime. It doesn't get a buff for any prime slots. But it has 2 auxiliary heavy transports and 2 extra armor. So like you can put predators and you can use Spartans. So what this is doing is basically helps you build out, if you really wanted to, you could start making an all mechanized army with this slot. The next slot would be the Dreadwing Carde. It's an auxiliary. It has one prime slot. It's 3 support slots total. Okay, and of those 3 supports, one's a prime, and then the support units all have to be either Dreadwing Irredemptors or Rapier batteries. So the Dreadwing is like the, as we would call it, war crimes unit of the Dark Angels. They're the ones that break out all the really nasty toys and do horrible things to people, just basically to reap and sow Earth to the point where there's nothing left. So the next one is the Stormwing Muster. Stormwing is typically just base troops and lots of shooting, and that's what this one does. Has 2 prime slots on the troops slots. There's 2 troop slots and 2 transports, so it's just more line Dark Angels basically. But those 2 prime slots, you can do interesting things with the prime rules that are available to everybody. The next one you have is the Deathwing Concave. It has 1 prime slot on the retinue of the 3. There's three positions. One's a retinue, one's an elite, and one's a heavy assault. And on the retinue, it has a prime slot. The next one after that is the Ravenwing Lance. It has 1 prime on a fast attack slot, and there's 2 fast attack, and there's 2 recon slots, and the recon slots can only be used for outrider bikes. So this is like your typical land speeders and bikes that the Ravenwing are known for. And then you have the Firewing Echelon, which you hardly ever see. Like I've seen very few people ever play anything associated with Firewing, but it's typically like scouts and infiltrators. And that's what this basically is. It's 1 prime slot on a recon. You have the elite slots have to take Seeker Squad, so you have 2 recon slots and 2 elite slots. And so that's your 6 auxiliary detachments the Dark Angels can take. And some of them are quite useful, some of them are not. Some of them have some interesting abilities if you use the prime slots correctly. So now we're going into actual units, and what we have is, do you want me to start with the line, or you want me to go with the other stuff first?
We'll cap off with the line, I think. I think that'd be a good cap to the end of it.
Okay. So we have Corswain. He's kind of like, I'm not going to say the second in charge, but he's one of the main Lions lieutenants. This guy is not a person that you want to get into challenges with. He is definitely towards the pointy end of a sword on people not to duel or challenge with.
Okay.
So, like, we kind of already know who those people are. And, but, so he is move 7, weapon skill 7, ballistic skill 2. Or, that's not right, is it?
That's a 5.
5. Yeah, ballistic skill 5, sorry. And then, strength 4, toughness 4, initiative 5, 5 attacks, leadership 10, cool 9, willpower 9, initiative 9. And he's a 2+, 4+, with 2+ regular save, 4+ invulnerable. Comes with a bolter, a bolt pistol, the blade, armor of the forest, and frag and crack grenades. And so the blade is basically a mastercrafted tyrannic greatsword. It's at initiative at base. Its strength is a +2. Its AP is a 2. Its D is a 2. It gains Duelist Edge 2. It gains which Duelist Edge 2, I believe it at a 2+, on a 2+, it what is it? It gives a 2+ focus on the third step in a challenge. Then the Armor of the Forest, basically it reduces challenge wounds. Damage is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1 in a challenge. So like he takes less wounds like in a stabby stick fight.
So you hit him with a thunder hammer that would do 2 damage, it does 1.
Correct.
But only in a challenge.
Only in a challenge. It's not, yeah, he's nothing ranged basically. I mean, he's got a bolter and a bolt pistol. So like you're not, that's his deal is to get in and start hacking at other champions and important people.
Yeah, he sounds like the exact kind of person that no one wants to be in a challenge with.
Yeah, the Duelist Edge, I was like, well, I had to look that up. I was like, what the hell does that do? So, I mean, I know there are better people in challenges than him, but there are also a lot of people that are a lot worse than challenges at him. So, next name person we got is Marduk Saradus. He's a Terminator character. It's Cataphractii. He's in basically like Cataphractii armor or ancient Cataphractii armor. He's basically used to be the leader of the Irredemptors and basically the Dreadwing. So his stats are movement 6, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds. Sorry, say what?
He's got Cataphractii armor. He's T5.
Yeah, he's T5. And then initiative 5 and 5 attacks. Leadership 10, cool 9, willpower 9, and initiative 9, 2+4+. Cataphractii. War gear, plasma burner, which I went over a little bit earlier. Phosphex bombs. Yeah. Yep.
That's just rude.
Death of Worlds. He's got he's also a Master of a Legion, and then special rules. He's got Ancient of War, Bulky 2 because he's in Terminator armor, Impeccable Advance, and Slow and Purposeful, which for Cataphractii you kind of
makes sense.
You would see. So the Death of Worlds. Basically, if you ever play Japanese role-playing games and they give you those really oversized comical swords with like extra pointy things on them, that's what this is.
That's exactly what we need.
Big ass sword is what I have written down. It's -2 initiative. It's but it's what is it? The strength modifier is +5. It's an AP2 D3. And then yeah. As I said, it's one of the big comical like Japanese role-playing game swords.
Yeah, that's
so it hits very slow, but it hits like literally like a tank. And then Ancient of War, if this unit has nothing but Dark Angels in it that he's attached to, they get Hatred Traitor. So
Hatred's not as good as it used to be, but that's still a nice buff to throw onto a unit that are running around with a beat stick praetor like that.
Yep. So
yeah, +1 to wound tests for Hatred.
Yeah, when he's already got a strength of 9 with that sword. Yeah. That's putting him back into wounding Saturnine Dreads on a 2-up. Jeez. All right.
So then we have the generic troops, or not generic, but they're Dark Angel specialized troops. Deathwing Companion Detachment. It's a retinue, so it goes in that retinue slot. They're basically like veteran type stats. So movement 7, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, attacks 3, and then leadership 8, and then 9 on the sergeant or the oath bearer. Cool 8, weapons, willpower 8, initiative 8, 2+ save on the troops, no invulnerable, and then the oath bearer has a 2+5+. And then they come with a Calibanite Warblade, a bolter, a bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades. They have Eternal Warrior 1. and then their companions is another special role. Then they actually do have options. You can take a Power Fist for 5 points a model. You can take a Tyrannic Greatsword for 5 points a model. You can take I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce this correctly, Cytherion Pattern Aegis for 10 points per model. It replaces their bolter. And what a Cytherion Pattern Aegis is it gives a, or is it 5++ and shield trait. Plus it can declare shield wall advanced reaction, which is a +1 toughness during the charge. Also, any Dark Angel model in this unit is with, this is a retinue, will get it. You can't precision wound or target. You cannot precision wound a targeted model that is attached to this unit. So basically, they shield. They do what they're supposed to do. They shield their
the boss alive.
Yeah, they keep the big guys alive.
And they can get that thing in exchange for their gun.
Bolter.
You said,
yeah, they change out their bolter for a shield, which is a little weird, but they keep the sword.
And you don't have to switch all of them.
No, you can pick. You can pick how many of this. You can this one. You could start with the 5, and then you can add 5 to it. So like you could build a pretty decent squad of mixed Power Fist and Tyrannic Greatswords with those shields.
Okay.
You want to keep them all shielded if you want that shield wall trait, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you kind of. I think you need more of those shields to. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get the reaction no matter what, because you said it was any model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you only have one, everybody gets the shield wall when you have it used as a reaction. So yeah, that's pretty beefy. That's pretty beefy.
They had these the previous edition, and they were okay. They weren't great. I think that this. So from what I've seen with the Dark Angels, is the units that were good in the previous edition are now not that good, and the units that were bad the previous edition have gotten a lot better. If that makes any sense, they've basically flipped them.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can take that.
So next we have the Dreadwing Irredemptors. This is the Dreadwing. These are the guys that everybody used to hate the last edition, because usually when you were using them, you were also using that Rite of War that you had basically made all the ground poisoned. Well, they don't have that anymore. These are basically tac squads, except they have leadership 8 and 9 on the sergeant guy. So, anyways, so they have they have plasma burners for the default weapon, which I went over a little bit earlier, which is the plasma flamers template weapon. They have a bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, rad grenades, and they're a bitter duty support unit 1. And then out for every 5 that you take, you can either equip it with a stasis missile launcher or a plasma incinerator, which is the big plasma flamethrower. So the stasis missile launcher, okay, can fire either rad or stasis missiles. It's an assault weapon. The rad missiles are 20. Both missiles can only go 24 inches. The rad missile is FP2. Range strength 4, AP3, D1 wound, or D1 1D, and then it has poison 2+, phage T, and as I said, it's an assault weapon. But it's not a template weapon, but like, yeah.
Yeah, and phage knocks your toughness down for the whole game. So, and being assault, that means you can do it in your setup move, or your volley fire. That's mean.
That's beefy.
Charge me, buddy.
Poison 2+ is not, yeah. Okay, so the other missile's the stasis missile. Same range. It's FP1, R range strength 4, AP not, D2, 3-inch blast, and stun 3.
Ouch.
And it's an assault as well. Yeah. So this squad is a support squad to set up other stuff going, like other assaults.
Yeah, they're
So
that's
like
still pretty damn good.
yeah. So like it used to be you'd want the plasma flamer, like the heavy one, the big one. I think in this edition, the missile launcher is probably the way to go. Just
You get both
because
missiles,
of
or
the
you have to
nasty
buy them.
Say again?
Do you get both missiles? Or do you have to buy them separately?
No, you get both missiles if you buy the missile launcher.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a normal missile launcher. You could pick frag or crack or whatever, but this is
Okay, that's beefy. That's
destroyer missile launcher
short range.
with rad and stasis missiles.
And when you're backing them up with flamers, which are the plasma flamers, pretty much anything charging at you is going to be having a very, very bad day.
Yes.
Unless you can get in really close.
Yeah, unless you can get in really close. I don't think anyone wants to try to charge that unit at all. That just sounds unpleasant.
Yep. Well, typically, normally you'd see these guys with Madrock too, with his mega sword too. So
yeah, I don't want to see him anywhere on the table.
You don't want to
with
see
the cloud strife sword. Oof.
So
right.
Okay. So the last one we've got is the famous Inner Circle Knight Cenobium. Cenobium. They're Cataphractii ++ basically. They're like normal Legion type Cataphractii with extra slightly better stats. So movement 6, weapon skill 5 or 6 on the captain, the preceptor. Ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, 4 was it initiative? 3 attacks, leadership 8 or 9, cool 8, weapon willpower 7. I keep getting that wrong. Willpower 7.
Okay.
Initiative 7, 2 plus 4 plus, or intelligence 2 plus 4 plus. They come standard with the Tyrannic Greatsword. They also have Plasma Casters, which I didn't go over earlier because the only thing you're going to see it on is this particular unit. It's a template plasma. It's basically a wrist-mounted plasma, like a wrist-mounted plasma. What do you call it? Burner.
Flamer?
Yeah, it's like a plasma flamer on the wrist with the Tyrannic Greatsword. It's the same basic stats as the plasma burner, which is FP1, RS4, AP4, D1 template. It's breaching 6+, and then there's the maximal fire version of it, which is the same stats, but it adds breaching 5+, and then overload 1, which plasma you roll 1 to get hot. But on this unit, they're bulky, they have impeccable advance, they're slow and purposeful, and then they have the orders exemplar. No, there's no T. Exemplar. Yeah, whatever. I can't pronounce it. What Duncan said.
Orders exemplar.
Yeah. So that basically is the rules that we went over, the orders of the Hecastroica. It basically, all that does is, like, for this unit, you have to pick one of those orders at the start when you're building the army. So that whole unit gets one of those orders for the game. And it's, normal where you can get, you base 5, there's a base 5 and then you can add 5. So you can have up to 10 of them in a squad.
Okay, so that's all their regular units. It's not the Primarch, right?
Correct.
So primarily close in, dedicated, everything. Again, for pretty much all the units' abilities, right? I mean, 2 of the units are close combat, and then one is the Interrupters.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, for the most part, it's to get into get into close combat and then win those challenges with this army. Okay, so the Lion, going through the other Primarchs, and this is totally subjective to other people too, because you're going to hear from other people. Stat line wise, he's probably among the best he's on the pointy end of the spear for Primarchs, like stat wise. Now, I'm not saying special rules wise he is, but stat line wise, he's definitely above at the top end. The other people I'd probably put in that line right now would be Russ, unascended Horus, and unascended Fulgrim. You're going to have Vulcan he's not as good stat line wise, but he's a hell of a lot tougher. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But the Lion is nobody to slouch at, and he's probably not one of the ones you want to try and get into combat with. So his stats are movement 8, weapon skill 8, ballistic skill 6, strength 7, toughness 6, wounds 6, initiative 7, attack 7, leadership 12, cool 10, willpower 10, intelligence 10, 2+4+. War gear he has is the Lion Sword, the Fusil Actisianus, Stasis Grenades, Frag and Crack Grenades, Master Legion Dark Angel Loyalist, Sire of the Dark Angels, bulky 4, so he's takes up 4 slots, Lion's Cohor, and Eternal Warrior 2. Okay, so he actually does have a choice you have to make which of the 2 swords you're going to go with. So he has 2 swords. The 2 swords are the Lion's Sword and the Wolf Blade. It's either there's no points cost, so you just basically pick which one you want at the start of the game to go with. So the Lion Sword swings at initiative. It swings at base attack. It's +2 strength. It's 2 armor pen, 3 damage. It's a power weapon. It's Sword of the Order. So remember the rules for the Sword of the Order. -1 attack, but a 6+ crit. Then the Wolf Blade, it's at initiative, it's at base attack, it's at base strength, it's AP 3, damage 1, shred 4+, which is +1 damage if on a 4+ to wound, breaching 4+, reaping blow 2, so outnumbered it gains 2+ attacks. It's a chain sword, and it's a Sword of the Order with the additional Sword of the Order rules. Stasis grenades, if he's charged, if he can use them if he's charged, the attacking unit is modified to a -2 on initiative for the duration of the assault phase that it charges him. And his initiative is already, what did I say? It was a
7.
7.
You're going
Hey,
last.
Ned.
You're getting diced in half.
You're going
Yeah.
last, is what I'm getting at. And then he also has basically an archeotype plasma pistol. It's the Fusel. It's a 18 range, 2 shot, strike 7, AP 3, 2 wound with breaching 4+ plasma pistol. The Lion's Kohler, which is one of his special rules, if engaged in a challenge and has 2 or fewer wounds left, the controlling player can select the following gambit. On a 2+, it gives a 2+ focus roll, and it does not suffer a -1 modifier for each point of the difference between this model's base wounds and the current wound. And then he's got the Sire of the Dark Angel rules, which applies to all auxiliary, apex, and primary detachments that have the Dark Angels faction trait. If 4 or more troops in the primary detachment are filled and contain at least 1 tactical squad, 1 assault, and 1 breacher squad, then all 4 sword slots with the troop in the primary detachment are considered prime slots. So every troop slot if you have him and you have a breach or a tactical and an assault, which leaves you one open troop slot, every one of them gets a prime buff. And then also all outrider squads and all scimitar jet bikes get a +1 on reserve rolls. Which that kind of just seemed really random, but
Yeah, that bonus is not the best. But
If
his
you want
stats
to
are solid.
drop them, they're pretty good that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, everyone say hello to Ned.
say hi to Ned.
Enuptus Astartes. Hello, Ned.
Have you guys already
So-
started recording?
Yes.
We were started at 8:30 Eastern Standard.
I'm so sorry. I signed in at 8:30 and you guys were already rocking and rolling. My bad.
Because you're Central Time, like me.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. But
People living in the past, sir. It's all good.
so kind of going along with the Dark Angel theme, the Lion is not somebody to get into close combat with, along with all their special units.
No, I don't think anyone wants to fight the Lion, unfortunately.
He has very similar stats, like number-wise at least, to Russ. I think they're almost identical.
Yeah, I think importantly, he's got that weapon skill 8, which it was a big deal.
Yes.
The difference between 8 and
Yes.
7 last edition, and so that puts him for loyalists. That puts him there with Russ, Sanguinius. Who else? Does Vulcan have 8? I can't remember.
I think he's a 7.
Yeah, a lot of them are 7s. I know that the Khan is 7. So it's a very important one for him to, if he's going to inevitably duel his brothers. Hers is 7, so when that grudge match happens, you'll see that problem.
And then he's also got the stasis grenades if you're going to go ahead and try and... You don't want to charge him, basically.
Yep.
I don't want to be charged by him or charge him.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't want to have that slap fight.
Which of the 2 swords would you take?
The first one, because it sounded like it was AP2 and D3.
Yeah, I think the Lion Blade is definably better. The Reaping Blade is situationally good, but I think I'd take the flat AP2 and the damage 3 more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're using the other guy with the Buster Sword, I think that's probably the better choice. If you're not using him, then maybe I'd think about the chainsword because it could just chew through mounds of
everything.
infantry.
Yeah. I think the Lion Sword is more like one-on-one, like challenge type, and then the Wolf Blade is more like just reaping squads. Would you not say?
Yeah.
That sounds about right from what I can tell.
And you have to pick that before the game starts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
it's an
He
equipment
only
item.
carries one.
Nice.
I think
In
with
the future, he's got a
challenges,
little dude that
especially.
carries it for him.
Say again. Sorry.
So in the future, he gets a little dude that carries it for him. He can pick them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I mean,
in
he
this
doesn't
edition,
have that little
especially with
just yet.
Yeah. In this edition, with such a focus on challenges, I think that it's also the right choice because if you end up on a table against one of your brothers, you're going to want to duke it out with them anyway. So you're not really thinking about reaping blows in that situation anyhow. And damage 3, I guess damage 3 really doesn't matter too much because most of the Primarchs have Eternal Warrior 2.
Right.
But it's better for if you're going into Terminators or Saturnine Terminators or anything else in the game that's a little beefier. So
That's all I got, guys.
How many points does he cost?
He is 460 points. I think most of them around 450, 460. So
he is a little bit
I think
more expensive.
Mortarion, I think, is 465.
I thought it was
Angron is
425.
Angron's
425.
450.
Yeah, Kurz is
On-
450.
Con is 440, and I'm trying to look up Russ right now. Hold on a second. Russ is 450, so he's actually more
Women's
expensive than.
450.
As I said, I mean, I know it's totally preference and it's rock paper scissors, but other than like Russ, Fulgrim, and what is his name? Horace, like I would put him in that top 4 end, like non-ascended Primarchs. He I would say he's in that top 4 end for the Primarchs, like stat wise.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's what he was for.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's part of his shtick for sure.
He's pretty beefy.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I was a little surprised at Sanguinius not having better stat lines, but I bet you he probably gets updated for like late war.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. It just, and then Vulcan, as I said, he's not as good stat line wise, but he's like damn hard to kill. Like he's super tough. So I think he's Eternal Warrior 3, and then his toughness was higher, but
Yep.
But his weapon skill's not as high. So
Mortarion also. Wait, have we done? Did you guys do Death Guard before I got my kids to bed?
No, we have not started Death Guard yet.
Okay, then I'll wait. I will wait. Then we'll talk about him in a little bit.
So, overall opinions or thoughts on the Dark Age?
Well, I'll make a pause here to note, and Jack can delete this if it was said before I was able to sign in. But the Dark Angels and their list building ability is insane. Did you guys talk a lot about all the detachments and how the flexibility?
We went over all of it. Yeah.
Okay. I did the video. I did a video myself on this before, and at the time I wasn't ready to, like, I hadn't really gotten into the list building yet, and so I was just like, I'm betting that they're going to be super flexible, and I don't think I could have sold it enough, because all of the auxiliary detachments, all of those prime advantages, it's just insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they can do anything.
Yeah, like, I mean, and all the most any other Legion has is only like 2.
Right. And most importantly, none of the Dark Angels ones are Apex, so they're not specifically tied. They don't get in the way of anything else you wanted to play. Like, as long as you throw down a couple of Centurions, and you can do anything. And I think it balances out having maybe a slightly weaker Legion trait, because you can do whatever you want with this Legion, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can build like you can definitely build any of the old wings like you used to be able to in 2.0.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Yep. And then like, yeah, it's I'm surprised that they went this far with them compared to, like, especially with like all the other Legions, what they got. So
yeah, I mean, and I think there was a lot of sticker shock when people saw like losing the rights of war and we just got detachments. They're like, this is terrible. But no, guys, it's actually amazing. It's really amazing. So, I mean, I was trying to build a couple nights ago. I was working on a Night Lords list, and I was trying like heck to include some elites in the army, and I was having a really hard time because I also wanted to include the Atramentar Hunt Apex detachment, and so that prevented me from taking the Apex detachment that allows you to get those 3 elites. And so I was just fighting so hard trying to figure out exactly if there's any other way I could do it. And you barely even have to think about it in this. Like, for Dark Angels, you just figure like, okay, the biggest thought process is how can I get the most prime advantages, and you can get so many prime advantages out of this list. So,
yep.
All right.
Have any other thoughts? I think that takes us to Death Guard.
I'm actually excited for this one. Not that anything wrong with Dark Angels, but I have a Death Guard army, and I haven't looked at them hardly at all.
My beautiful boys.
Your boys.
All right, Brian. Tell
Well,
us about your beautiful boys.
where to start? I'll start off with their Legion Tactica. So in 2.0, they could walk around and shoot heavy weapons as if they had not moved. They sort of retained that ability. They no longer benefit from it on vehicles, which is important, but the way the vehicle rules have changed, it kind of comes out in the wash, which is good because vehicles needed help. But Remorseless Advance allows you to move no more than 4 inches in the movement phase, and as long as you did not rush, you still benefit from the Heavy X special rule on any weapons they have. And you also ignore the penalties. Say that again, Doc.
I was gonna say, so it's not quite as movement friendly, but you're still being able to move and still get the maximum benefit. You just had to remove 4 only. That's
Yeah.
pretty damn good.
It's a fair trade, but it also lets you ignore the negative modifiers for moving through difficult terrain, which is pretty handy because that also applies to dreadnoughts.
That is handy.
Their Special Legion Gambit is interesting. It seems highly situational. You'd probably mostly use it in a situation where you have a lower grade character model encountering a challenge with a Praetor or a Primarch. The Gambit is called Steadfast Resilience. So Steadfast Resilience, their Legion Special Gambit. If this gambit is selected, then the toughness characteristic of the model it is selected for is replaced with a base weapon skill characteristic of the opposing model for the duration of the following strike step. So it's very situational. You'd probably only see this if you had a Centurion or other lower grade HQ command model going against a Praetor or a Primarch. It's neat. I don't see it coming up too terribly often. But it could be a neat little trick.
So that great big Dark
The
Angel guy with the giant sword, you could just swap out your toughness with his weapon skills. So, and just be like, haha, you don't have the strength to hurt me, and then get smacked down by strength 9. Okay, never mind.
potentially,
Yeah, that's still pretty damn
potentially, yeah. Like I said, it's situational, but when it works, it'll work well.
good. Okay.
Their unnatural resilience, the prime benefit that Death Guard have, can only be taken once per army, and it can only be selected to fill on a prime force organization slot with the prime advantage, all that good stuff. But it grants you an additional +1 to your base wounds characteristic, and it gives you Eternal Warrior 2. So I used this in a game I played yesterday with my friend Tony, who is running his awesome Blood Angels. And this actually came up pretty handily in a combat between his Praetor and my Centurion and Cataphracti armor. I was forcing him to only give me 1 wound no matter what gambit he chose. I forget exactly what weapon he had, but it was a multi-damage weapon. And it allowed my Centurion to live through 2 rounds of combat and beat down his Praetor. This is probably something you'll see in almost every Death Guard list. It is very good. It's very thematic for Death Guard, and it will be the meat and potatoes for pretty much any Centurion that's wanting to run into a challenge and go beat some face.
I was gonna say, I thought that this is, for me, this is fantastic because cataphracti characters are something that you wanted to take anyway on Death Guard, so you're just being rewarded for doing something you already wanted to do, which is awesome.
Yep.
And you're as durable as a Primarch as far as damage reduction goes, which is crazy.
Yep, and it definitely takes the wind out of a lot of Thunderhammer duelist sales for sure. I'm not sure if we'll see a lot of people trying to do duels or challenges with a power fist, but that could be a thing. Yeah, I really like it. It's going to be a lot of fun. As far as the Army of the Death Guard, they lost access to Alchem Flamers for now. Allegedly, they're getting some additions in the maybe future existing PDF. We'll see. But what they do have is the Power Scythe, which they've always had as an option. And Power Scythes this edition are, I think, in a better place. The changes to the rule Reaping Blow is a little bit more user friendly. It's much easier to trigger. Instead of being in base to contact with more than one model, you just have to be outnumbered to gain the benefit in parentheses. So Power Scythe is initiative modifier -1, no modifier on your attacks. Your strength is +1. It's AP 3 and damage 1, Reaping Blow 2, and Breaching 5 up with the trait of Power. I really like this. I can't wait to try it.
One of the things that I noticed when I was going back and rereading this for this show was that I missed this first line. Any model with command champion specialist sergeant may have his power weapons changed for 1 power scythe to 10 points or a power fist to change for 5 points. That made me feel better because I thought some units were going to get locked out of taking power scythes. I missed that little.
There are a
part.
lot.
No, I think the availability on it is about the same compared to previous editions.
Yeah, I thought it got worse,
And
but
we-
I was wrong. I was happy about it.
It's
Yeah,
also
just-
better than a lot of other Legion weapons. A lot of other Legion weapons are tied to sergeants, if you're lucky, but it's a lot of times
high-
command or. Yeah. But like,
champion.
you know, even
Champion?
specialists.
Yeah.
Even specialists can take these. Which is cool.
Do high command like Praetors have the command trait?
I believe so.
I'm recording, so I can't pull
Yeah,
it up
because
right
that's what
now.
gets you into challenges.
Looking
Pardon
right
me
now.
while I whip this book out.
This book out.
Praetor does have command. Okay, so you could throw this on a Praetor if you wanted to, just for
Yeah,
thematic
the
coolness.
command trait's what allows you to do challenges.
Okay, so you could throw that on there. That's reasonable.
What we got next, Brian?
What else you got for us?
Next, we'll go over their singular detachment that they have access to, which when I saw this, it gave me the warm fuzzies because it's perfect for Death Guard. I don't think you really need any other special detachments. It is called the Reaping Host. You get access to 2 troop slots, the first one being a prime slot, 1 support slot, and 1 heavy assault. And honestly, I find myself in my list building, if it's not something peculiar where I need to take an Apex detachment, I'll run 1 or 2 of these detachments, and it gives me access to all the Terminators, heavy support squads, and prime advantage tactical squads that I want. The only stipulation to this detachment is that you cannot use the troop slots in this detachment to take assault squad units, which is no big deal because you have 4 slots in your primary detachment if you're so inclined to take assault squads.
Yeah, this is a good detachment with very little or no downside, like you're pointing out.
What slot do the heavy support troops come in now?
Their support.
Support.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
can get them
so you
without
can-
having to unlock the other actual detachment.
Yeah.
Yep.
fairly hefty. And it gives you another prime troop slot. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's
So you can do
pretty damn
more of
nice.
whatever you want to anyway. That's good.
Yeah. That's pretty damn nice.
No
the only thing
complaints
missing
here
is
for sure.
the only thing missing is potentially like a heavy transport, but you could just use the prime advantage to take that. So it's very good.
Exactly. And if I'm taking more than one heavy transport, I'm just going to take that whole auxiliary detachment
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So I don't have to worry about it.
Their advanced
Okay.
reaction is pretty interesting. It's called Barbaran Endurance. I'm not going to go over what triggers it because it's pretty straightforward. You get shot at, you pay one reaction point, and you get to do the following. All models in the reacting unit immediately recover from any tactical statuses. That's pretty big. For the
That's huge.
duration of the current shooting phase, all models in the reacting unit gain Feel No Pain 5+, also pretty huge. And 3, for the duration of the current shooting phase, the reacting player automatically passes any cool checks or leadership checks made for the reacting unit.
So you, in essence, dump off
So
anything status-wise you had, become almost immune to shooting applied ones, and you get Feel No Pain.
if you're really trying to status me off of an objective or route me off an objective, well, get wrecked, son, because we're not going anywhere unless you kill me.
Yep, that's exactly what that's for. That fits the death card perfectly.
Yep.
It's not even just against the one attack. It's for the turn, right? So many of these other reactions are they resolve at the end of one whatever, but it endures, and that's amazing.
So, I mean, could you imagine like a chunky breacher squad sitting on a valuable objective and just telling your opponent to eat it all day long?
Yeah.
Come and shift me off of here.
Come at me,
Right.
bro. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's perfect for death guard. Just refusing to get up and move. Makes perfect sense.
I really wish
All right.
I had paid closer attention to what this reaction does in the game I played yesterday, because it would have probably saved my 10-man tactical squad from getting almost shot off the board.
Okay. What else we got?
From there, we've got their 2 iconic Legion units. The first one we'll go over is my personal favorite. I think I've used them in almost every single game of 30K I've played since this unit came out. In book 3, I think. Grave Warden Terminators. They've had some fairly significant changes from 2.0 to 3.0. They've got regular cataphracti stat lines, with the exception of I think they've got one more attack than normal. Their attacks are 3 on their stat line, and I think regular cataphracti are 2, but I could be wrong about that. They're
think they're
all
on
Elite
par for
8.
the
They're
other
all cool
special-
8. Okay.
I think they're on par for the other
Still.
specialist Terminators that I've seen. I believe so. Still good.
It's still good. They lost Firing Protocols 2, but they lost it for good reason. The Death Cloud special rule is no longer a heavy flamer that's poisoned attack in the shooting phase. It is something that's been factored into the assault phase. So at the very start of the fight phase, after your challenges have been resolved, you just automatically deal 1 strength 1, poison 3 up hit with an AP of 5 against the unit that you're in combat with, and it's 1 hit for every model in your unit that has that special rule. So if you have a full 10-man block of Grave Wardens in combat, before anybody has a chance to swing at anybody else. You automatically do 10 hits with a high probability to wound. I don't mind the change. It's pretty comparable to what you would have seen before outside of reaction shenanigans in 2.0.
Yeah, that's pretty. Don't charge these guys either. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. I can take that.
They also lost the
I'm not-
ability to make all charges against them disordered, but the way disordered charges are now, that's not as big of a deal.
True.
You they have Vanguard 3, which is very helpful, and I utilized that in my game yesterday. They all come with power fists and assault grenade launchers. The assault grenade launcher is pretty much unchanged other than the toxin rounds lost one shot. They're firepower 3 instead of 4. Other than that, they're exactly the same. Still poison 3 up, AP of 5, 1 damage. Crack grenades off of that grenade launcher are damage 2, but I believe that follows the trait of other crack grenades as well. And then they do have the option of taking a heavy alchem flamer.
But why?
I never have because it's just redundant.
Yeah. Why would you when you have all the other stuff going for you already?
Exactly.
Overkill.
I think it's also cool that they can swap those grenade launchers for combi weapons for free.
The Kim Master can, not all of them, just the Kim Master,
Oh, just the Kim Master. Oh,
which is
dang
the
it. Well,
sergeant.
Yeah,
So-
just the sergeant.
Yeah.
you can get
They
one little
can all
melt to
take
speed.
chain fists. They can take chain fists for 5 points per model. As far as how much the unit costs now, they bumped them up, which I think was more than fair. They were severely undercosted in 2.0, especially when you compared them straight across to a regular Cataphracti unit. They were essentially getting power fists for free, and I think they were still 5 points cheaper per model. A full 10-man squad will run you over 400 points. I think it's 425. Because if you put 5 chain fists in them, they shake out to being 450 points.
Which is about somewhere around where most Terminator squads that are used for specialization seem to end up anyway.
Yep.
Between
So they
450
didn't
and
really
500.
they didn't really lose anything. They just changed as they needed to go with the times.
Makes sense.
Death
What's next?
Shroud also got some changes. They're back down to 2 wounds apiece now. They had 3 in 2.0. But they also gained Eternal Warrior 1. So they're probably still about as tough as they used to be. They all come equipped with the Alchem Caster, which is a flamethrower pistol with a template pistol poison 2 up. They no longer get hot, which is handy, or as they call it now, overload. They can take melt-a-bombs, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe not.
No.
No, they actually have no options, sadly.
Yeah, they don't have that option
Yeah.
anymore.
I think the big win
But
with
importantly,
I think the big win with them is that they're leadership 9. They have Eternal Warrior 1. I think that's the big win. Plus that Alchem Caster is a poison 2 up now. I think that's the biggest win with them.
yep, and you can volley fire it too. And I have to correct you, Jack. They're leadership 10. They're cool of 9, and they're all importantly weapon skill 5.
Yeah.
with 3 attacks.
Well, I still don't know what any of the other letters and numbers mean over here past leadership until you get to save. So none of that means anything to me. Leadership 9, it's fantastic. Leadership 12 is a thing now, and that's even better. Because with the way that that assault now work, leadership 10 is stubborn. Like that's the way to look at it, is stubborn now. Basically,
I think
Pretty much.
you can lose, but it's
the cool
hard.
the cool 9 is great because I think you should expect to take suppression checks at a -2 penalty one way or another pretty consistently. So I think this is very good for them because it gives them a fighting chance to stay on it because yeah. Although realistically, because of the fact that they're fighting with the Reapers, the Scythes, I mean, that's already got a -1 initiative, so they're not going to suffer so much from some of these statuses, at least the dropping the initiative down, because they were going to swing a little bit behind anyway, and they're more tough than anything. But still, it's a solid stat line to have.
Yeah, and Reaping Blow being easier to take advantage of if
Yeah.
you are outnumbered, which is pretty easy to prearrange because this squad starts with just 2 models and then you build up from there. Take like 4 of them, throw them in a Land Raider, you charge into any tactical squad, odds are you're going to be outnumbered and you'll get
A lot of attack.
20 attacks on the charge.
Yeah.
Or just standing still.
One
Hitting
thing
on
that I
3s
missed.
more than likely.
One thing that I missed though is they're not Vanguard. I missed that before. So
Yeah,
they won't be getting.
but I think
they
it's
won't
a
be getting.
fair trade.
Yeah.
All right, so that takes us to Callus Typhon.
Yes, indeed. I haven't looked too terribly closely at his profile. He seemed to still be pretty badass.
Tough 5, 5 wounds, leadership 10, 4 attacks, bulky 2, Eternal Warrior 1, Witch Blood. I'm sure that's a rule that is on the other page. It is. Yeah, no, he looks pretty good.
His Lacrimae, his special power scythe, is still pretty dope. It's Reaping Blow 3 instead of Reaping Blow 2. It's Poison 3 up as well. It's AP of 2, damage of 2, -1 initiative modifier. I can't complain there. His special Alchem pistol is Poison 2 up, Panic 1. He's a Master of the Legion. He also has the Death Cloud rule where you get that bonus hit before anybody swings in melee.
All right. Quick question about it. Does anybody remember what Biomancy does off the top of their head? Because he has Biomancy.
It's a whole psychic discipline
increases
that's crazy.
stats.
Sorry?
It's the one that increases stats for your unit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
between Biomancy and then Witchbug, which is a gambit, he could be a beast in challenges?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hilariously, of course,
Witchblood is
he can't be
Witchblood
very
is,
appropriately. He can't play with what's his name, Mortarion.
Yeah, he can't be in the same army with Mortarion at the same time? Or
Nope.
Well, he can't get any of these cool rules if he does.
Okay.
he doesn't gain access to the Biomancy if he does.
So Biomantic Rage gives you the target unit +2 strength and +2 toughness.
So you target yourself with Biomancy, and then you give yourself Witchblood, and so you get what was the +1 strength to attack and strength, and then Biomancy gives plus whatever you said that I already forgot. Ooh,
+2 strength and toughness when you're charging.
Jesus.
Witchblood gains you +2 to your attacks and strength as well.
So +4 strength
Yeah.
On the charge.
on the charge on the close combat challenge. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's
But you can only use Witchblood once per game.
If you're gonna need it, you need look up someone's day.
Yeah. I want to shit
Yeah,
on you,
yeah,
and
I
I'm
mean-
shitting on you right now. I'm shitting the bed.
I mean, when you got to use it all and bust it out, you're probably busting it out against something like a Primarch or some other
Six-Man.
horrifying beat stick of a character. Yeah, Siggy. You're busting that out against Siggy, and yeah, that's going to help.
Yeah. So he's
Or the Dark Angel
Yep.
with the Thunder Sword.
Yeah, or the guy with that horrible
Horrible.
Japanese anime sword.
Sword.
So then that takes us to
Those two going at it would be like Kim weapon on Kim's weapon too. So
Yep.
Yeah,
I think Callous Typhon will definitely hit like a fully loaded dump truck.
overloaded.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems it seems reasonable
Scale.
enough. All right, so I think it does. Is there anyone else, or are we up to Big Bad Morty?
Morty.
We are up to Mortarion. Mortarion, I haven't really looked at Primarch stat lines across the board, but he's move 8, weapon skill 7, ballistic skill 6, strength 7, T7, 7 wounds, initiative 6, 6 attacks, lead 12, cool 10, willpower 10, initiative 10, and has a 2+ and 4+ for his saves.
Intelligence 10.
He has silence, which is his pistol. Or no, silence is his scythe. He has the lantern, which is his pistol. He also has the Death Cloud rule for that free bonus attack at the start of the fight phase. He's Eternal Warrior 3, has preternatural resilience. Shadow of the Reaper, which I believe is still the magic jump around super fast nonsense. He has Fear 1 and Bulky 5. The Lantern is range 10, firepower 1, strength 8, AP 2, damage 3 with Armor Bane. So it's a souped up plasma pistol with no overload. Silence is initiative modifier -1. No attack modifier. It is strength +1, AP 2, damage 2, reaping blow 3, and critical hit 6+.
I mean, it's nothing really
Silence is
super special. Not bad.
no. It's just good. It's not. There's not anything negative about it. It'll kill the shit out of regular guys pretty handily.
Yeah,
It will
it's
be
just
pretty solid in a duel.
fairly capable.
Yep. Eternal Warrior 3 is nice. He has Phosphex bombs, which is also nice. Like all
Yep.
I missed that part.
Yeah. With all Primarch, he has a whole entire page of extra rules.
Yeah.
Like he's like, as always, he's super fast. Setup moves. He can move it like his movement character is 10 for his rush or setup moves, which is this ridiculous.
Yep. That's the Shadow of the Reaper special rule.
Okay, so hang on. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but I seem to remember him having the whole he would step into shadows and
Ghost
then
Walk?
be across the board, like Ghost Walk. Is that basically what this is?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
But they made it more usable, I would say.
Okay, I'm not
Okay.
understanding his resilient. So is this when engaged in a challenge attack with a critical hit X special rules? Does that make it like if you have critical hit 4, it's now a 6 because you're against Mortarion? What's that saying?
Yeah, crit hits
Yes,
are
Okay.
in
worse.
essence,
Yep.
yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was
So take that plus your Eternal Warrior 3, and this guy will be very rarely taking more than 1 damage at a time.
okay.
The Slayer of the Death Guard. If a model with this special rule is part of an army, then the controlling player may apply the following additional special rules to all auxiliary, apex, and primary detachments that have the same faction trait as the model with this special rule. If 4 or more troops battlefield role slots in the primary detachment of this army are filled with tactical squad units, then all force organization slots with the troops battlefield role in the primary detachment are considered prime slots. Furthermore, if a model with this special rule is part of an army, then the following special rules are granted to all models with the Death Guard trait in the same army. Until the end of the first battle turn of the battle, each time the controlling player makes a shooting attack for a unit that includes only models with the Death Guard trait, if a fire group has a total firepower characteristic of 11 or more, attacks made by that fire group have the pinning 0 special rule. So that would make your 20 to 30 bolter shots pinning with no negative modifier.
Making them roll
Which
dice.
is
So they're gonna fail it.
that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It could be a lot of fun,
So my big
especially on like autocannon heavy support squads.
Yep.
Or Volkite even.
We
Or
don't do
anything,
Volkite.
really. Jack, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just gonna say I feel a lot better about Death Guard now, because I haven't had a chance to actually look at them until now. I've been spending too much time
Right.
trying to get Ultramarines, since that's gonna be the easiest to do. But like I said before, I think Death Guard can get on the board, just with the way armies are made now, probably without a lot of tinkering with what I have done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
All right.
so.
So, all right, well,
they're simple, they're resilient. They seem to always come out okay between editions or rules changes. I have no complaints. They're just all around solid.
There we go. Gentlemen, we've run long for our time tonight. Should we go ahead and call it a wrap here?
Sure.
all right. So,
Thank you, Ned, for coming in. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me late.
Talk about.
Appreciate it. Good to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Ned, always a pleasure. Sorry. Is there anything you want to plug while you're on here, Ned?
You should subscribe to the Accountabilibuddies Patreon. Is that what you were asking for? No.
Plug for yourself, sir.
How about?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you could also go to my channel. Ineptus Astartes on YouTube. Forgot about that. I do have a YouTube channel.
Thanks, Ned.
And he sometimes even posts things there.
Hey, I posted
Yeah.
like 3 things in the last.
Yeah, he's done.
Like,
He's
nearly
been
weeks.
doing each Legion reviews. I will say I've been listening to him when I do the yard work around the house. So,
Oh yeah.
thank you,
Yeah,
Ned.
I've got the it's funny because I did one for the Iron Warriors, and I put that aside because I wanted to finish that Schrodinger's video. And I have done so much more reading in the book now. I feel like I have entirely different things to say. So I might end up having to re-record that Iron Warriors
Redo 'em.
video.
It
Yeah,
did amaze
I might
me
have
that-
to.
That was a really good video, your Schrodinger's video, and then the amount of butt hurt from people. I was like, why are you butthurt about someone talking about their opinion? I was like, okay, whatever.
You know what? I actually was overwhelmingly happy with the response. I thought it was very positively I was very happy with how well received it was. There were some people who were upset about it, but I think law of averages. I mean, I will toot this horn, I guess. it got viewed almost 4,000 times in a week, and that's like so much higher than anything I've ever done before. So just the amount of people who saw it, you're gonna have some people who hate it, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no,
But I was
those,
really happy to hear.
those are good numbers for a niche inside of a niche, which is basically what we are.
Right. For
Yeah,
sure.
we are the niche of the
Absolutely.
nations.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, thank you, Ned from Ineptus Astartes, or Ineptus Astartes.
That's me.
Find him everywhere. Also here.
We've got some events to shout out. So the 16th,
Yep.
I'll be doing my first 3.0 event, just a 1 day at Dallas Games Marathon in Plano, Texas. And tickets are still live for the January 3-day event on the January 16th, 17th, and 18th at Dallas Games Marathon as well. I've also started doing the fourth Sunday of every month. So it'll be the 17th of this, or the 24th of this month will be the just kind of a painting day at Dallas Games Marathon. Last time I did airbrush instructions. This time we're going to do weathering and decals and stuff.
Neat.
So if anyone
That's
wants
cool.
free lessons and just to kind of hang out and paint, just come on to Dallas Games Marathon. Just hang out.
And shout out to our friends down at Music City Heresy, who are hosting the Music City Heresy at NashCon in Nashville at the hotel down there. I can't remember what it's called, but that's August 14th through 17th this year.
Yep.
Great event. I know they're giving away a lot of stuff. They're run by friends of the show.
They got like 3 boxes worth of stuff to give away.
Gotta give them a huge shout out.
You got 3 boxes of the
of the good
Of Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, they got the good to give away for the event.
Mhm.
That's awesome. People should go there and get stuff and play and have fun and learn 3rd edition and hang out with people. I know we also sent them a tube of swag stuff to give away too.
And say hi to Joe.
And say hi to Joe.
Joe.
You're going to jail. Speaking of going to jail, John, do you want to take us out of here?
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you for joining us for this, the 136th episode of Heresy Accountability. I hope I'm not going to jail for anything yet. I'm John, and tonight I've been joined by
Duncan.
Brian.
Oh,
Who knows how alphabets work?
It never gets old.
I think one time on the.
I'm going
Keep
last.
going,
I'm
someone
telling you
else.
that right now.
Keep going.
Jack and Jamie
And Ned.
and
And Ned.
special guest Ned. We appreciate
Emphasis
everyone
on
coming on
special.
tonight.
Super
Always remember
special.
to stay accountable to yourself, to your buddies, and your hobby. And we'll talk to you next time. Good night.
Button.
There you go.
Like and subscribe and see ya.